We hear a lot about the importance of being resilient. What people don't talk a lot about is the fact that resilience can change really quickly, particularly when a community's experienced a lot of natural hazards in a short space of time, like a drought, followed by a flood, followed by another flood, followed by a pandemic, followed by a fire. A lot of our current measures of resilience only get updated once every 5 years. We really need to have timely information. The Sharing Early Insights for Resilient Communities project is a really important project and a really different one. What we're trying to achieve is getting earlier warning of when things are going wrong in communities. We want the people who go in to support communities in hard times being able to get in there a bit earlier before things go too bad, and having the data to help them do that, to see when things are just starting to turn and to say, hang on, it might be time for us to get in and provide some support.
For regional Australia to be truly productive, effective, really humming, we need our ag sector to be working the way it should. We need our communities to be vibrant and whole, and we need our environments to be sustainable. And so all three of those things become really critical in resilience. What we're doing is bringing disparate and unusual and new data sets together to see if there are relationships between them that we can use as indicators. So it might be the composition of the typical shopping basket in a town. We're looking at buying patterns, we're looking at how much diesel is being bought and using that data to say, if things are changing, how are they changing, why are they changing, and do we need to do something?
We talk to people like NGOs who are supporting communities in disaster recovery, and they tell us, look, we think there's a need in our community, but we won't know for sure for another 2 years. And they really need to know right now what's going on. This will help them by giving them real information and saying, where is there actually need and where are things actually going okay? So we might be able to pull resources out of one area, put them into another, and hopefully that will let us use resources more efficiently, get support into communities faster, and help those organisations really feel confident that they're getting the right things delivered at the right time. Good research really needs to be guided by people who are out there working in the real world. If you're working in disaster recovery, you don't have time to spend a day every week doing a workshop with a researcher like myself. So we've reviewed the hundreds of papers on resilience, and we've looked at what are good indicators of resilience and how much it can change in a short time. Then we've said, out of this big long list, which ones are most useful for you? That way they're able to direct and guide what goes into the project.
The short-term benefits of this project will be a series of indicators that we can talk to state and federal government agencies, healthcare providers and local government about and say, look, there are things here that could help you do your jobs better, or will give you insights that you haven't had before. Are you interested? The longer term benefits are that these tools and insights are more publicly available, and we can all start to understand the cumulative effect of climate change and extreme climate events on the resilience of our people and our communities.
We know there's often a lot of concern about the timeliness of response. Sometimes one of the key barriers to achieving that timely response can be that gap in data. So the aim long term is to start filling in those gaps so that data is no longer one of those barriers to getting a really good disaster recovery or even really good preparation for disaster or disaster response while a flood or a drought is happening. Ideally, what I would really like to see as outcomes from this project is funding flowing where it needs to go and support flowing where it needs to go in rural communities.